day, everyone. So happy to have you here. I'm Kathy Zerler with Deborah Basham, who is our host and our production advisor. But we're giving her a raise. She's going to be the executive production advisor. So let's have a nice hand for Deborah Basham, who without her, these videos would be, well, some of you know I'm technically challenged. Although I have been learning with the help of Deborah. All right, so welcome to Gentle Restorative Yoga. Let's begin. Sitting up tall. So pull that fleshy part back. Get on the sits bones. Big smile, everyone, as we begin to turn our heads from side to side, warming up our necks, going only ever up to our range of motion as we go through our practice today. Whatever we do, as you move mindfully, which means watch what you're doing so that you don't go too far too fast. And mindful also means take the best care of yourself so that you can extend that good care to other people. The next time you come to one side, hold it, breathe into it, and you are at your limit for right now, your personal range of motion. Sitting tall, holding and breathing, and noticing how good this feels to just sit and be in the pose. Breathe back to center. Turn the other way. Same thing on this side. Go up to your range of motion. Sit tall. Be mindful of your posture. And breathe. And notice. Breathe back to center. We'll do one more complete rotation. Turn the other way. Hold it here. Breathe into the neck. This is a subtle skill. As you breathe, mentally direct your breath into the part that you are using or working in this practice right now. Breathe back to center. Moving slowly in both directions, and you can see why. If you're not moving slowly, you can see how it would be much more comfortable for you to move slowly. Let's turn the other way. Breathe into it. Smile and hold, sitting tall. Breathe back to center. And let's roll our shoulders now, releasing. It's a nice, actually, sort of a neck workout or release as we roll back our shoulders. So we're hunching up toward our ears and bringing our shoulders way back to engage the scapula. And then settle in. Still sitting tall, and draw a circle in front of your face with your nose. This is a nice, big, slow circle. You are breathing, noticing, focused on yourself. This is your time. This is your yoga. Come to center. Draw that circle in the other direction. slowly rotating. And coming back to center. Notice and breathe. Let's bring our arms out now to parallel and gently move the shoulders, moving now from the inside out, from the spine to the fingertips, sitting tall, working the shoulders, which are the larger muscles in this movement, coming right out of the trunk. So when we say balance, we mean balance from within. We mean being mindful of equanimity on both sides as much as possible. And we mean watching what you're doing at all times. Stop, palms up, gently lift the air, breathing as you move. Bring the arms up overhead. Lift up. Bring back your chin. Smile. Bring the hands down into prayer pose. So the thumbs, the sides of your thumbs are in the center of your chest, and your ribs are supporting your arms. So let your arms tuck in to the sides of your body. So I want to tell you, as we're sitting in Namaste, in prayer pose, I am grateful for my dog, who is at this moment sitting just out of view of the camera, staring at me. And she has practiced with Deborah and me so much these past few months that she knows when we're videoing now. Because in the early videos, if any of you have seen the early ones, there are a few moments when Happy runs through the picture. And sometimes her black body just obliterates the entire picture. And we've worked through that. It's a grateful distraction to have a dog. Let's tuck our chins and think about something you are grateful for. Bring up your head, bring your arms up overhead, and release palms forward, small circles backwards, rotating the shoulders. Many of you know that I'm a professional writer and I'm trained as an English teacher from college. And so when I said, think of something you are grateful for, oh dear, grammatical no-no, ending a sentence with a preposition. So here's what I could have said according to the laws of grammar. Think of something for which you are grateful, which even as I know that rule, stop, and small circles forward, even as I know that rule, it has never felt friendly to me. It always feels stuffy and rigid. And so when I'm writing, I will go to great lengths not to use the for which and just write it in a different way. And also not to end in my writing in my sentences in a preposition. So I want to just point that out, that while I am definitely a rule follower, come into goalpost, and a respectful person of anybody in office or the law or older people, I do know how to break the rules when it comes to grammar in a good way that's more clear. So in yoga and in writing and in conversation, all communication, I think it's more important to be clear and to speak as simply and clearly as possible than it is to be correct. Bring your arms down to scarecrow. I read once in one of Annie Lamott's books, you can either be kind or you can be right. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be right and still be kind, but she was speaking about correcting someone in a harsh way and not being kind about it, even though the person that was doing the correction was right. Swing your elbows. You can either be kind or you can be right. And relax. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Our shoulders are not done because we will use them in the rest of our practice, but it feels good to warm them up in that gentle, restorative way. Let's come to our hands and knees now, to the table pose. So in the table, arms straight down from the shoulders, knees straight down from the hips. Begin the cat table cow. The cat stretch is tuck the chin and arch your back like a fraidy cat. Release back to the table, which is center. So we always come to center. And then sway your belly toward the mat and lift up your head in the sway back cow pose. Breathe back to the tabletop. Arch into the cat, tuck the chin, pull up the abs. Squeeze those low abs. Let go. Breathe to the table. Sway into the cow. Feel the abdominal core lengthening as you lift up your head. Breathe back to the table. Arch up into the cat. Hold it here. Breathe back to the table. And sway into the cow and hold it here at your best extension. And you've moved into it slowly, so you haven't gone too far, too fast. And you are safer. Be safe, everybody. Come back to the table. Move your feet to the edges of the width of your mat and curl under your toes. Move your hands to the edges of the width of your mat and push up to downward facing dog. Push back your hips. Feel the length in your spine. Allow your head to hang between your arms because the head is heavy, and whenever we can release the neck from holding up the head, we should do that because our necks are one of the more delicate parts of our bodies. Work this pose a little bit by pressing back your hips. A teacher in Sedona once used the cue for downward dog to let your tail lights shine. Let your tail lights shine. Walk your hands and feet together now, forward bend, and slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming up slowly. Notice the blood flowing from your brain to your heart as you roll back your shoulders and sweep up your arms, extended mountain, lift it up, soften and look up and lean back. Bring up the head and release. Forward bend, elbows in, sit way back so your knees are above your feet, and then fold in half, touch the mat, and hang out here. The top of your body is like a rag doll. Shake your head yes.
Tuck the chin. Pull in the abs. Roll up slowly, bone by bone, making space between the vertebrae. As your head comes up and your shoulders roll back, and sweep up the arms, extended mountain, lift up, bring back the chin, soften here, fold your hands now and turn your palms up toward the ceiling, stretch again, bring back the chin, feel the length, feel the alignment. We want alignment wherever we can find it. It's a very healthy practice for our spines. Release the arms, forward bend, elbows in, sit way back, bend the knees, fold in half, hang out, shake your head yes, the top of your body is soft. The shaking of the head helps to release any crystals that might be stuck together and then could cause lightheadedness or dizziness. Tucking the chin, roll up, one beautiful bone at a time. Head comes up, shoulders roll back. You're in posture. Sweep up to an extended posture. Lift up. Lift up the toes, widen the fingers. Soften right here and gently look up and arch your back. Bring up your head. Release. And gently sway from side to side. So here we are, relaxing. We did some tension. We did some ragdoll release and then some tension in the upward stretch. And now we're releasing some more. Just relaxing and swaying. Come back to center now. Here's the mountain. The mountain can be here with the feet together. Shoulders are back. This is not a stable mountain. A more stable mountain is having your feet hip width apart so that the legs are straight down from the hips and your feet are forward. So you're taking up a little more space. Your foothills are your platform and you're steady here. This is a grounded pose. Extended mountain, sweep it up, is also grounded. It's a longer pose. Lift up the toes, widen the fingers, soften right here, and sway from side to side like a willow tree. Feel the obliques on the sides of your body lengthening, flexing, getting into the spot they need to be in. You're breathing always as you move, bringing in healing oxygen to every part of your body. The next time you come up, lengthen at center. Always centering like this in practice helps us to remember center when we're walking or being distracted by something else, to stay centered. Let's lean now into crescent moon. So the upper arm either goes up overhead or wherever your shoulder feels better. So maybe you want to put your hand on your waist and you can lean a little farther this way. Your hand that you're leaning into is supporting this pose by going down the side of that leg. Or your arm can be across your body if you'd like to get a little different stretch in the shoulders. So there's always a variation. And you can make them up. When you're moving mindfully, you'll watch and listen to your body, and you will figure it out. Because if you're taking yoga, You're smart. You're doing the right things for your body in a gentle, restorative way. Come back up. So you will figure it out. Lift up. Soften and lean the other way. Breathing and noticing. Come all the way back up. Lift up. Soften. Lean the other way, crescent moon. Up to your edge, your range of motion. Always. Respect where you are. Honor where you are. Be your own best friend. And then you can be someone else's best friend. And you probably will find you have more than one best friend. Come all the way back up. Lift up. Soften and release. Into the other side. Come all the way back up. Lift up at center. Soften. Look up and arch. Lean back a little. Bring up your head. And let's do a little bit of windmill breathing now. Inhaling up. Exhaling down at your own pace. So this does not involve forcing the breath farther than it wants to go. It's said that the count of 6, inhaling up, inhaling for the count of 6, for example, and exhaling for the count of 6 is about average. But maybe it's 5 for you, maybe it's 7, maybe it's 3, maybe it's, 25. I don't doubt if it's 25, but always do the right things for yourself. And come to center. Step out a little bit more. We're going to do some spinal rotations. Soften the knees and twist in one direction, looking over the posterior shoulder. Hold it here. We are twisting from the waist, flexing the shoulders and the neck and the spine. Breathe back to center. Twist the other way. Knees are soft, going up to your range of motion. Holding it and breathing. So right now, the best place to direct your breath would probably be your flexing spine, because that's holding everything together. Taking care of our bodies, come to center. Twist in the other direction. So these rotations are good for opening up your organs, opening up space around the organs so they can do their work. Come back to center. And one more time in the other direction. Looking over that shoulder. Come back to center. Release the arms, and as we roll our shoulders back, we open up our heart space, giving our heart room. Let's step out a little bit more. It's a pretty good organ to take care of, don't you think? Okay, this is for tripod. So one leg, 2 legs, both hands together are the third leg of the tripod. As you bend your knees and fold in half and put both hands in front of you on the floor in tripod, you can keep the knees soft as you walk both hands over to the right foot, left hand on the mat, right arm up in the air, look up, look down, right arm down, walk back to center, both hands to the left foot, right hand on the mat, left arm up in the air, look up, look down, left arm down, walk back to center, both hands to the right foot,
Left hand on the mat. Right arm up in the air, look up. Look down. Right arm down. Walk back to center. Last time to the left foot. Right hand on the mat. Left arm up in the air, look up. Look down. Bring that arm down. Come back to center and sit down. So that was putting it all together there. Waist, neck, shoulders, spine, everything moving together. We're going to rock up now into our boat. So you're on the sits bones. This is core strength. See this little V here? That's the boat, like a V hull. Okay? Holding up the weight of your legs. Now, if this doesn't work for you or you feel too stressed about it, bring your hands behind your thighs, and that will help. Because your core is still working, but you don't want to be shaky in your legs. So anytime you feel shaky in any pose, like wobbly, quivering from within, you're training your body to be quivery, wobbly. We want to be straight and strong and solid and steady and grounded. That's what we're going for. Come back down, and then let's lie down on our backs for the bridge pose. So the feet, the legs are still in the same position. Feet are forward. There's some space between your knees as you roll down and roll back your shoulders. So the bridge, the weight of your bridge is on the shoulders and the feet. So test that by lifting up your hips and make sure there's no pressure on your neck. Very important. So shoulders are back. When you're ready, tilt your pelvis and roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, rocking up onto the shoulders, into the bridge. Now to determine where your best extension is, arch your back, squeeze your hips, and then release those two things, just enough so that your body between the knees and the shoulders is still straight, but you're not pushing it. So you're in your sweet spot. You've gone up to your best extension, and now you're settling in to a place where you can hold it. Now, if you find that your body is sagging a little, then arch again. Check your shoulders, squeeze the hips, and then settle in again. Allow your body to find its place in every pose, and your body will be speaking to you. You will know if you are not in the right spot for you. And we're all a little different. And so we all need to be mindful of what we need to do for ourselves. This is not about me. This is not about anybody else you know that does yoga. This is not even about you being in competition with yourself. You are doing the right things for yourself. This is not a contest. You're not even in competition with yourself. Remember that. So roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And when your back touches the mat, say, ah, and roll, rock your back, releasing and stimulating blood flow around the spine. And breathing. Come back to center. Check your shoulders. When you're ready, pelvic tilt up to your next bridge. Rocking back onto your shoulders. Arch, squeeze, and then release and settle. So in every pose, when we're holding a pose, which we do frequently, find ways to release what you do not need to hold the pose. And that's important to save energy. It's also important not to chronically, unconsciously clench or stress or hold our breath or hold anything that we don't need to be holding. And so only you, and we all have those places where our stress goes. So we clench, we have a gut reaction, we have bruxism, we grind our teeth. We all do some of that. We don't all do all of it, but we all have places where we hold tension. It's important to recognize where that is for you and make a conscious effort to release it. Let's roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae, and rock your back. A nice, gentle rock. Releasing, resting, breathing. It's part of the tension. Tension plus rest or relaxation heals our bodies. Okay, so you've all heard about weightlifters that lift heavy weights and rip their muscles. That's called, in the vernacular, getting ripped. Oh, he's ripped, or she's ripped. Well, they have to take an entire day off. They don't lift heavy weights every single day because they have to give their muscles a chance to heal. That's what we're doing, but we're not doing it to that extreme. We're going for longevity, for a longer, happier, healthier life. Let's go into one more bridge. Check your shoulders. Pelvic tilt up to the bridge. Arch, squeeze, and release. Hold it here and breathe into your bridge. Climb right out of your body, spiritually. Stand on your bridge. Witness what's around you, as if you were observing others, but you're right now observing yourself. What's going on? Is it good? Could it be better? Just notice. See what's happening. Is there something more you can let go of? Is there something you need to add more of in your life? Maybe it's more meditation time. Maybe it's more vegetables. Maybe it's taking more naps. Roll it down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And this time, bring up the knees, one hand behind each knee, and roll on your back. Stimulating blood flow, circulation, relaxing, releasing. Open up the knees a little bit. Sway a little bigger. Make a bigger circle with your spine, going clear to the tailbone. Coming up to the thoracic side, spine as far as you can get. And then put your feet on the mat. Roll onto one side. Use your elbow and the other hand to press yourself up to a seated position safely. And let's sit back on our mats and open up our legs in a big V. So we're stretching out the center. The inner thighs are flexing. Go up to your edge and notice. We're not going to move out of this, so don't worry. It's not like I'm going to make you jump over to that side or anything like that. And I wouldn't make you do anything. You are the one that does what you do. I would suggest things, but I would only suggest safe things, because safety first and don't hurt yourself are two of my main rules. Be safe, do no harm, especially to yourself, and that will extend to other people. You can help other people be safe just by your own actions, by your own good example. And now, here we are stretching out from the inside out. Let's point our feet. Now, notice a little bit of difference. in the muscle groups. Pronate, so you turn the feet out. So we haven't gone anywhere, but we've added the feet. And we're stretching out a little bit different group of muscles, adding to it. Sitting tall. Noticing and breathing. Just sitting here is working the pose, which somehow reminds me of my dad, because I'm a big reader. And as I said earlier, I'm trained as an English teacher, so my job for a really long time was reading and, figuring out writing, reading, things like that. My dad would see me laying on the couch and he'd say, "Get a job." And I would say, "I'm working here, Dad. I'm laying on the couch reading. I'm working here." And I turned out to be a productive citizen. I've always had jobs, just so you know. I just don't lay around on the couch all the time. Soften here. Flex the feet and supinate. Turn them in. I don't want you to think that your yoga instructor is a dilettante. I do work hard at what I do. Hold it. Notice the outsides of your legs. Release that and bring the legs together, and let's stand up safely by going first to the table. Here's how you get up safely. Push up to a crouch and then roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming up to a standing position. Rolling back the shoulders. Sweep up. Lift up. Look up and arch. Bring up your head. Release. Bring your arms behind you. So pull the arms just away gently a little bit. And notice the increased engagement in your shoulders. And it's useful here to roll back your shoulders. And just stand tall. Bring the chin back. We lean forward a lot in our lives. And so we need to come to better posture many times every day. We need to notice when we're not in posture. Not that we're never going to be in posture, because we have to do our work, right? So we have to also take care of our spines. And this is one of those ways that we contraindicate all the leaning forward that we do. Release. Forward bend. So come down slowly, hands to the mat, head hanging between the arms, and then come up to flat back. So put your hands on your shins and you're in flat back. Now bring your arms behind you and lift them up in humble warrior. Holding and breathing. Release that. Come back down, ragdoll, roll up. Nice and slow. Tucking the chin alleviates any dizziness or lightheadedness. Head comes up, shoulders roll back. Sweep up the arms, bring them up. Lift up. Release, bring the arms behind your back. Fold your hands and bring your arms away a little bit. Feel the engagement in the shoulder blades. Release and sway. Gently sway from side to side. Let's step out now into the 5-point star. We're going to move out of this, so don't go really, really far. And bring your arms out to parallel. Soften, and then tense everything below the neck. Check your posture. Continue to breathe.
Soften here. And turn one foot so you point the foot in the direction that you're turning. Legs are straight. Bring the posterior arm down the back of that leg and the other arm up overhead as you look up. Soften the posterior shoulder. Hold it here. Bring up your head. Bring your arms back to parallel. Sink the forward knee, side angle pose. Bring that arm on top of that leg, and the other arm goes up overhead. Or wherever your shoulder feels good. Remember the crescent moon. Your hand can be here. It can be behind your back. So wherever you feel better in the pose. And we all know what those places are. So let's come back up. Keep the forward knee bent. Swivel your hips toward the forward knee. And bring both arms together in the front. Strong fists. This is a warrior sequence. Shoot the bow. Bring one arm back with a lot of tension about to your mouth like you're an archer. And release. Hold it here. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fists and pull. Bring it back. Slow and let it go. Find your center. Settle in. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fists. Shoot the bow. Bring it back. Slow and let it go. Hold it here. Bring both arms together in the front now. Palms facing each other. Lift up your arms. Arch your back and look up. Exalted warrior. Think about something you are grateful for. Bring up your head. Lower the arms. Come back to center, to the 5-point star, and intensify it. Everything below the neck. And then release, step together, and relax a little. Sway from side to side. Tension plus rest is healing our bodies. You are healing at this very moment. Step out again. We're going to do this sequence on the other side. Arms out. 5-point star. Tense it up. The top of your head is the top of your star. Imagine that you're surrounded by lightning bugs. The stars are out, and the stars and the lightning bugs are the only light. Soften. Turn the other foot away so that foot is pointed. Sink the back heel for stability. Legs are straight. Bring the back arm down the back of the back leg and the other arm up overhead as you look up. And soften the posterior shoulder. Reach for the sky. Bring up your head. Come back to parallel. Sink the forward knee, side angle pose. And the other arm comes up overhead. The arm that's on the leg, the quadricep, is relaxed but stabilizing. Hold it here. Come back up, nice and slow. Swivel your hips forward. Shoot the bow. Bring both arms together in the front. Strong fists and pull. Bring it back. Slow. And about your mouth, release just like an archer. Hold it. Again, you are a peaceful warrior. Strong fists, strong intentions. Come back with a lot of tension and release. Hold it here. Again, both arms together in the front. Strong fists, lots of energy. Sink in and pull. You are gaining strength and endurance, balance and mobility. Hold it here. Both arms together in the front, palms facing each other. Lift your arms up overhead, arch your back and look up. Bring up your head, lower the arms, come back to center. Release, step together, and relax. Just relax, everybody, because you're feeling better with every breath. Let's come down now to the tabletop. Oh, if you can't really see, this says Y-O-G-A. Yoga. Y-O, I don't know how to make a G. Just imagine the G, A. Let's come down to our hands and knees. Arms straight down from the shoulders, knees straight down from the hips. Find your center at this table. Extend one leg. Put the foot on the floor, so the toes are on the floor. You can leave the leg here or lift it up to parallel. You can keep your hands on the mat and now look at your mat and find a balance point. Or you can extend the opposite arm. So one arm and one leg are back, and the supporting arm and the supporting knee are doing the work. Hold it here. I talked a little bit about wobbling earlier. If the supporting arm starts to wobble or quiver from within, that's your signal to come back out. So let's come back out. So always notice, because we're training our bodies, again, to be strong and stable and steady, not wobbly or quivery or whatever. Left arm, or the other leg back, and lift it up if you're doing that part. Extend the opposite arm if you're doing that. And stretch between the extensions. Imagine alignment in the extensions, so that your arm, your extended arm and extended leg are lined up with your spine. Your neck is lined up with your spine. Come back to the table. Other side. Bring the leg back, bring it up, or not. Bring up the other arm, or not, and hold it here. Check your alignment. Use your core. The more we use our core, the more that our core automatically kicks in when we lift something heavy or climb stairs or run or ride a bike. Our core helps automatically when we train it to do that. It takes some work. It takes practice. Come back to the table. Other leg. Extend it. Extend the opposite arm. Hold it steady. Alignment. Breath. Tension. Release. And let's sit down. So I have a signature move. I think I just teach this move a little bit differently than I think every other class I've ever taken. I don't know that anybody teaches this pose the way I teach it. So that's why I call it my signature move, because I absolutely love it and I like to end my practice with it. So first of all, come up on your back, one hand behind each knee to prevent overflexion, and roll on your back. Side to side, circular motion, and then bring the knees in close. Extend your arms out into airplane and lower both legs to the right. Allow them to go all the way to the mat so your hips and spine follow. You do not want to be holding up the weight of your legs. Turn your head to the left. Extend the left arm away and roll that palm so it's facing up. Right palm is on the mat. Now you are in
a full body spinal flexion. And all you have to do is release around the pose. Release around the muscles that are flexing and working. Soften a little more. This is a yin pose, which means it's a static pose. Just being in the pose does the work. Of course, we prepare for it by relaxing our backs, and we come out of it also relaxing our backs. But right now, we're in the tension. Breathe and hold and notice. Very slowly now, one leg at a time, bring up your legs. Bring in the arms. Place one hand behind each knee and roll on your back. A little bit more vigorously now, but not out of control. Now, another thing you can do in this pose, and Deborah likes to do this, happy baby. So she grabs the soles of her feet, like she's a little girl discovering her feet, and she rolls around, knees are bent, and she says she can get more of the thoracic spine to release in this pose. And I think that's right, because the tailbone is tipped up right now when your hips are tipped up. So maybe a combination of both, rolling like this and rolling in happy baby. And you can really massage your spine. Bring the knees in close now because we're going to do the other side. Extend the arms out into airplane. Lower both legs to the left, all the way to the mat. Remember, your legs are heavy. You do not want to be holding up the weight of your legs. Turn your head slowly to the right. Extend the right arm. Roll that palm up. Left palm is down. You are in the pose. Soften in. Soften all around the tension. Notice and breathe. Release a little more. Get comfortable. This is healing. This is the tension. Deep breath. Very slowly now, one leg at a time, bring up the legs. Slower is better. Bring in the arms. Do a combination of rolling on your back and happy baby. Softening, massaging, relaxing, side to side, and stretch out in a supine position. all the way out, arms up overhead behind you on the floor. Press through the fingers and the toes, flexing and lengthening and coming back to center, alignment. Really reach, point the feet, widen the fingers. Feel the space that you are creating within your own body. All the systems and all the organs are better off right now. Bring back the arms and come into rest pose, whatever that is for you. It might be corpse pose, which is where I am now. It might be that you have something going on in the low back. So you want to bend one or both knees and move your feet to the edges of the width of your mat so you can relax, let your knees touch and relax your legs. So you're not holding up the weight of your legs. Or you can be in a reclining cobbler with the soles of your feet together, which is said to be the gateway to relaxation. In this pose, your soles of your feet are together and your legs are in a froggy position. Wherever you are, settle in and breathe a little slower and a little deeper. And notice if you're holding on to anything and release it because you're in rest pose. This is the opportunity to let our spirits, our minds, and our there's happy baby. I think a bird just flew by on the deck. This is our opportunity. Come here, baby. This is our opportunity. Take 3. This is our opportunity for our minds and bodies and spirits to integrate back together. I invite you to stay in this pose as long as you like. As Deborah and I close the class, bringing our hands to heart space, bowing our heads to Namaste, and we say together, Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. Make it a healthy day.